Honestly, if you guys had to ask me about the worst feeling of trading these markets, what is that worst scenario that could possibly happen to you? I'd say it's that scenario where price comes down, the volatility kicks in, but against your position, it comes down, knocks you out of position. So it's either a stop loss getting hit or it's you getting liquidated, even worse, only for prices to then immediately rally in your face. And it's not just an ordinary rally. No, it is a rally of conviction wherein it undoes the entire dump. And that for me was always the most gut wrenching feeling because not only did I get kicked out of position, but now even if I want to buy back, I don't have enough to buy back the same position that I once had. And let's not forget the mental aspect of this. If you are looking to get back into position, you're probably wondering, well, is this the right move? Now you're doubting yourself. You're trying to figure out if it's the right move or if you are beginning to revenge trade. I've been through this, not on the XRP position, I've been through this on an LTC position, in fact, where not only did I get kicked out on an insanely volatile move against me, but when prices rallied, the conviction was enough to push it to brand new highs. And that all happened in a matter of 12 hours. I was crushed. So believe me when I say I feel your pain. And I often think back to that instance and wonder how could I have acted differently to then capitalize on that bull market that then ensued on LTC. Because let me tell you something, guys, I was never a part of that move ever again. I let my biases and my anger and my frustration get the better of me, and I never got back into position. So today I want to talk about the next best objective move and how I intend on handling my XRP position, and whether or not the bull market can actually see a resurrection from here. Because as many of you guys know, we've been following the weekly dynamic support on XRP to keep us in our positions, and right now as things stand, that previous weekly candle closed underneath that dynamic support. Now, Sean thinks that I am wrong on being uncertain on XRP. He, in fact, is looking at a whole different time frame to help guide him on this chart. I'll be attaching the live stream with the timestamp to the XRP analysis where Sean gives his thoughts, so go ahead and check that out. But for me right now, I am looking at that weekly dynamic support, the support that we have officially closed underneath. However, now we have one candle close. I'm looking for two for confirmation. As soon as we get two candle closes, that's when I'll start scaling a bit out of my XRP position. Because if you guys remember, I got punished last time around where I did not wait on confirmation. And that was right here. I was rendered incorrect on that move, at which point I was forced to get my position back as soon as the next candle closed over that dynamic resistance. If you have a system on any asset that has proved to be tremendous edge for you, follow the system. Do not let your trader's intuition overpower the system. So we learn from our mistakes. I'm not going to be making the same mistake here. I'm going to be waiting on two confirmed closes underneath that weekly dynamic support, which currently comes in from 266 down to 264. Of course, I'll be giving you guys the updated levels on this dynamic as we get new prints on it. So if you guys want to keep up with that, make sure you're hitting the sub and the bell icon. Now, for those of you who lost position and wondering, hey, what should you be doing next? Now, there are two potential scenarios right here. One is the bullish scenario, where we actually reclaim dynamic resistance, flip that into support, and then that's when we start the uptrend again. The second scenario is a bearish one, where in this weekly candle closes underneath that weekly dynamic support, and now we have a downtrend being established where prices come all the way back down to $2. Now, for those of you who got kicked out of position and are wondering, well, what should you be doing next from here? What is the next best play? The next best play is this. You got to approach the XRP trade like it is a brand new trade. Because going in with the mindset of recouping your past loss is you going in with a tainted mindset. Do not do that because you're only going to end up revenge trading. Now, if I had to look at this as a brand new trade and I am looking to buy XRP, I personally would not be buying in right here. I want to see some strength. I want to see levels being reclaimed. And the one level being reclaimed is $2.66. And yes, we will be buying in at a high price. But the difference is that there's going to be more bullish conviction over 266 as opposed to under. So for those of you waiting to get back in, wait on the right confirmations. Now, if you had to personally ask me, Krisha, gun to your head, which scenario do you think plays out? This scenario where the bulls see a resurrection of sorts? Or does this head into bear market territory? Now, of course, this is personal opinion, okay, and not objective TA. What we spoke about so far was objective TA. My personal opinion is this. I know, call me crazy, okay? I'm sticking to my guns on this, guys. When we switch to bear market territory, I'm going to come out here and tell you that, okay, bear market on. Until we get that signature, which we have not gotten just yet, I'm still going to give the bulls the upper hand. The bull market is determined by Bitcoin's price action, and Bitcoin is still looking good relative to its cyclical supports. Now, this right here is XRP against Bitcoin, and yes, it lost significantly against Bitcoin. I mean, just look at this wick. It was diabolical. However, in no time, it recovered all of it, and once again is trading back in range relative to Bitcoin. Additionally, we were looking at Total 2 to give us a tip on the alts actually beginning their trends. Now, Total 2 is total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. And what we're looking for over here was for price to break out of its previous all-time high as we did back in 2017 as well as 2021. And in both instances, that initiated the bull run for the altcoins. Now, very recently, I'm talking about August of this year, which was just a couple of months ago, we actually got that confirmed close over that key region of resistance over the previous all-time high of 2021. For as long as we see this hold as support, the alts have a chance at alt season. No one's thinking of alt season. I know you guys probably hate me right now, but it's usually signals like this to help you determine if a market pullback is noise or is it a signal that should be taken seriously. And right now, with the way this is shaping out, like I said, opinion, I think it could be noise. And this could be the signal that tips us off on whether or not we should be buying when there's blood on the streets. So Total 2 is still holding it as support. And Bitcoin dominance, which was the second ingredient on the entire alt season thesis, we were looking for Bitcoin dominance to be in a downtrend. And notice what happened here. Yes, we did see a big wick up, almost a retest of that breakdown point, only for it to sell off rapidly. This is still very much in a downtrend, rejected off that weekly dynamic resistance that has been key in tipping us off between the balance of Bitcoin versus the altcoins. Where are you best spending your money on? So for those of you who still have your XRP positions and did not lose out on this wick, I want this dump to be a reminder of the volatility that can kick in against you and the fact that you don't need leverage when you're trading crypto. Look at this volatility. And for those of you who lost position, I say clear the slate. You gotta approach this as if it were a brand new trade. That is the only way forward. That's the only way your next trade could actually be a winning trade. Do not revenge trade here, because I promise you that's going to be the quickest way to losing whatever is left in your account. Now, of course, we're going to be following the XRP trade on the Discord chats. If you're not already in there, join the Discord at themangoway.com/Discord. I'll now see you guys in there. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the Mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.